Stop judging an infinite God with finite logic. Is there anything more ironic than a so-called scientist declaring that God doesn't make sense? We are told that believing Jesus is God is illogical because he was born and because he died. Yet the very people making this claim proudly accept concepts in mathematics and physics that defy intuition, contradict common sense, and cannot be visualized. So the question is not whether God makes sense. The question is, why is God judged by standards that science itself refuses to obey? The core problem: finite thinking. The word almighty means all-powerful, infinite, in power, wisdom, knowledge, existence, and being. Yet critics evaluate Jesus as if God must obey finite human categories. If he is born, he must have begun. If he died, he must have ceased to exist. That assumption is not science. It is category error. The Bible already addresses this problem clearly. The natural man does not receive the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness to him. 1 Corinthians 2:14. Spiritual realities cannot be evaluated without the proper framework, just like advanced mathematics cannot be judged using elementary arithmetic. Mathematical analogy. Let's talk mathematics. In real numbers, the square root of -1 does not exist. A beginner concludes, it's impossible. But mathematics does not end there. In complex numbers, the square root of -1 is perfectly valid. It is called I, an imaginary number. To an untrained mind, imaginary numbers are nonsense. To a trained mathematician, they are essential, used in electrical engineering, quantum physics, signal processing, modern computing. So what changed? Not reality. The framework changed. The limitation was not mathematics. The limitation was the observer. Applying this to God. Now here is the hypocrisy. Scientists and scholars accept space-time curvature, quantum superposition, imaginary numbers, dimensions beyond perception. Yet when God acts beyond human intuition, suddenly logic is demanded, but only finite logic. They evaluate an infinite God as if he were a finite creature. That is not rational skepticism. That is intellectual double standards. If mathematics allows infinite truth expressed through finite symbols, why is it impossible for God to enter time without being trapped by time? Jesus being born does not mean God began to exist. It means God entered history. Jesus dying does not mean God ceased to exist. It means God entered death and conquered it. Birth and death describe manifestation, not origin or annihilation. The error is evaluating eternity using biology and judging infinity using flesh. Conclusion: who is really being unfair? So ask yourself, who is really being illogical? The one who believes that an infinite God can operate beyond human categories? Or the one who accepts infinite mathematics but rejects infinite divinity? Is there anyone judged more unfairly than God? No. The problem is not that God doesn't make sense. The problem is that finite minds refuse to change the framework. Jesus is Lord. There is no other God besides him. His name Yeshua means Jehovah Savior,